We're going through big system changes, all digital technologies, network systems. We're going into a much more globally interconnected world. People are going to look back on this era as 50, 100, 150 years from now and say the world went digital, the world went global, and hopefully the world went sustainable. With that kind of thinking, that kind of framework on this discussion, what we're trying to figure out is a way to just accelerate reinvention.
These institutions are ripe for being reinvented.
It is a provocative idea.
Network-like solutions are really a much more effective way of solving many, many problems.
No matter what you think the world in 2050 is going to be like, it's not going to be like what you got educated for in 2013.
Reinventors Roundtables are essentially a new series that's trying to lift the sights of a lot of the conversation we have going on in politics and government.
It's just connecting the dots between the public sector and the private sector and figuring out where we can both work together on common initiatives.
The cool thing about this Reinventors series is it's not just about one person kind of giving out their big ideas, but it's about a whole collective of all kinds of different innovators who could kind of add to it and bring their own perspectives to it.
Technology of interaction has changed so that more and more of us are interacting just as we are here today.
And that's the beauty of this new technology, this group video that we're taking advantage of, is like you can connect up amazing people from all over the world. So the idea of the show is each week to kind of look at an area in America that's kind of ripe for reinvention, and to get someone who's really spent a lot of time in this space, an innovator in this space, someone who's been thinking big about how we could basically come up with much different sets of solutions to reinvent these spaces in much more profound and fundamental ways. This week we have Stephen Johnson, who's written this fantastic book, Future Perfect, in which he's come up with this idea of peer progressives, a new kind of mindset essentially to kind of emerge out of progressive thinking.
Is a top-down government solution the best answer? Is a market-based solution the best answer? Well, there's this other option, which is the peer network solution.
And to start this session on reinventing privacy, we got a guy who's really a big idea thinker, Peter Schwartz.
The power of the individual is enormously enabled by this hyperconnectivity.
Jen Palka, the founder of Code for America, she takes coders, hackers, people that kind of understand these digital technologies to kind of reinvent different aspects of city government and other government systems.
It's something people talk about now, and it's because the people who have been facing the problems more than anyone else are the people who've been trying to make government work.
Free from legacy thinking, free from ideological legacy. How can we really do this right?
If it works, it's not government. The fact that you have roads to drive on, you have water and power and sewers and all the infrastructure that we just take for granted. I mean, didn't that get dropped from the sky? I mean, how did it get there? Did it grow?
I love the kind of encouragement to think big here and think really differently.
I'm Pete Leiden. I want to make clear I'm not Jon Stewart. I'm not a funny guy, and this is not a place that we're going to have a funny conversation. It's not TED. It's not like someone comes with a polished big idea and it's done and we all can go home in 18 minutes. It puts out a kind of some rougher ideas and newer and more nascent ideas.
Let's together build a beautiful web that any learner can fall into and learn. So let's not abandon the schools, but let's go outside and build something that's really, really beautiful, and let's focus on people who don't have much as a starting point.
It's really about building the educational system around real life and real purpose rather than the other way around.
We do encourage people to actually ask questions off of the Twitter feed there using the hashtag Reinventors. You can also comment on our site. You can also comment in the Google Plus environment off this Hangout as well.
Peter, I was just reading on the background chat where somebody wrote, what role do leaders play? I certainly, think that leadership is critical.
All these kind of things will be permanently available in this 90-minute session. We'll be editing down a 3 to 5 minute version of this that you can move around social media. We'll have a kind of written distillation of this with some of the best ideas pulled out that you can actually refer to and spread around. America's facing a series of challenges, big challenges. The world's facing a series of challenges that really demands much more accelerated transformational ideas.
The one thing about transparency is surveillance. Surveillance is looking down from above. Surveillance, it's looking up at authority from below.
And we've got Howard Rheingold, who's the perfect person from my point of view. He's always kind of 5 to 10 years ahead of everybody.
When you are in a society that changes very rapidly, it's the duty of the older generation to teach the younger people how to adapt, how to learn on their own.
We get smart, knowledgeable, innovative folks who really care about what's happening in the country and what we could do to the country to kind of apply their thinking to one of these areas and think big.